Jameer Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone, touchdown!
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
Your boy is back in the building. Excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports 2.0. Chet, how you doing?
Let's
I ain't
go.
got a chance to see you literally coming back from the weekend. Then I missed Monday at Kyle Whittingham's golf outing yesterday presented by the Champion Circle. We'll get into that in a second. But one thing I say is, how you doing? And Anson, what's the word, man? You had to hold it down for your boy yesterday.
Hey, we got a good team. We're able to do it. It's a much cooler in here. We got
It's
the
not bad at all.
AC back in on over the office side. I want to fight with crunch time. Okay,
What'd they do wrong?
They like pushing the hot air around on themselves. I, on the other hand, like opening up the doors and bringing the cool air from the offices. And we got it down about 4 degrees instead of going up about 2 or 3 degrees as we would during this time.
They're a little bit younger than you, so you know what I'm saying. You got to educate them. You got
Appreciate that.
We have
Such
to
a science.
We have to teach them.
Boomer Anson, come on, baby. Gotta love
Not quite. Gen X, baby. Let's go.
What's worse, sweet potato? Riley, Justin.
You know, everything is smooth. Woke up real early this morning, fell out on the sofa watching the Tigers last night. So I'm nice and refreshed. And welcome back, B.
I appreciate it, man. Them Tigers, they are.
Put me to sleep.
They are.
I was there last night. Bag of dicks, bro.
Yeah, the Tigers are just tough, man. It's like every time you start to have this inkling of, all right, and then it goes right back the other way. Justin, you would have nerded out a little bit yesterday. Got a chance to go to the Champion Circle golf outing. Usually it's just the Champion Circle. Back in the day, it was the Jim Harbaugh outing. Now it's just the Champion Circle because the coaches have changed a couple times over the last 4 years. 4 years ago, they started the Champion Circle outing, and what it is basically just everything that goes to that outing goes to NIL. It is basically so that we can raise money to pay these players in multi-sports all across University of Michigan, much like everybody else is doing. Oh, boy, wait till you see these jersey deals that Ohio State and Notre Dame are signing. But with that said,
Yep.
they raised $4 million the very first outing. They got some money up there in Ann Arbor. $4 million the very first outing in 2022. Do you know how much money was raised yesterday and this year for the rosters?
Let's go around the room. I'll go, Anson.
For 2022 was
$4 million. The first outing was $4 million.
I'm going to say 32.
It's a big number.
That is a big number.
A
I'll
big
say
number.
18.5.
Okay. Jay, what you got?
Wow, that's a lot. And I think I am gonna be right around the right number. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's gonna be 13.7.
Just let me just guess. Throw it out there. 13.7.
24.
Hey, I was gonna say 22, and I went
24
too
from
big.
from 4 million to 24 in just 4 years. Everything is about the NIL. Literally, Nate Forbes, who kind of runs the money for University of Michigan, was going and outlining what it takes to compete in the Big Ten, what it takes to compete in the national championship scape. It takes cash, it takes money, and you got to have an institution that has money and it has donors and it has alums that want to spend that money because it's absolutely insane.
I'm honestly just so happy that the NIL does exist. I know it's still in its not finished format and it could use a lot of changes, but these types of things were happening for decades upon decades, especially at the bigger universities, even on a smaller scale, in the back on the tiny little private golf course. Now you can just do it. You can do it right. You can get some press out of it, bring more people in on it, and nobody's getting upset. Nobody's hiding in the woods with the camera. It's cool that they do this. It'd just be cool if my university could bring a little more money together.
Yeah, they're not bringing in no cheese up there in East Lansing.
You ain't gotta say it like that.
My bad. I was wrong about
There's
that.
plenty of cheese at MOU, bro.
I said that they're bringing in. What I meant was not how much was raised last night. It was more so how much it costs to foot the roster each year. That's what it is. And $24 million is the roster total for this year. $4 million would have been 2022. Did get a chance to talk to one coach, Kyle Whittingham.
Wait, you said hold on. You said that was the amount of money that the entire roster is worth this year? 24?
Yeah.
Okay. I was under a different impression. I thought you were talking about how much the golf outing raised by itself.
The golf outing by itself is 3.7.
Okay.
That was 3.7. My apologies on that. Yeah, 3.7. But got a chance to meet Kyle Whittingham. He's a cool dude. And I wanted to, be the stoic face, and man, I don't know about this guy. Couldn't have been a cooler dude. Could have been nicer. Man's man. Respect to him. Had some good conversations, some good insight, and just talking to him, it made sense what all the players and coaches were saying. When I talked to the young guys, the wide receivers, I had a chance to talk to Bryce, pull him to the side. Ryan Bellamy was up there. Shout out to my former teammate. But everybody just said right now it's about structure. It's about stability. It's about ownership. It's about onus. They're taking it more of a professional approach to this team. And they sounded good, man. The players look good. They seem excited. They were chomping at the bit. Had a lot to say about what this is going to be, so I'm excited. Got a chance to meet a wide receiver you might rock with, Justin.
Oh, yes, sir.
J.J. Buchanan. I want to say eye to eye with me, maybe a hair taller. I mean, he has some big shoes, but maybe a hair taller. Couldn't have been a nicer kid, man, but control of his body. And the only reason why I know this, somebody threw a golf ball to me. He jumped up and caught the golf ball, looking at me, but looking at the golf ball, and then turned around, came in the same spot, handed me the golf ball. I'm like, oh, you know how to control your body at that size. That was pretty impressive. So I know you got a little bit more intel on him, but I can't wait to see what that kid has to offer at the wide receiver position.
Absolutely. I mean, the kid's a post-fade specialist. He put up multiple highlight reel catches at Utah last year. And, Devin Dampier is
started as a freshman, by the way.
Yes.
And missed all of, when you come early, didn't come spring, didn't come summer. He didn't get there until training camp started. So they didn't have any film on him. So to get the starting job without that be a thing says a lot.
And that's because when you watch him play, and he doesn't really pop off the tape in terms of his athletic explosiveness, but like Braylon said, the body control is otherworldly. The way that he can shield the defender off and make sure that he gets his hands on the football and extend it out from his body. Braylon, I don't know about you, but you were a wide receiver, and they taught you to catch with your hands, I'm assuming.
They did.
And I don't know what happened to the kids nowadays, but they love catching it with their body.
Yeah.
J.J. Buchanan does not do that. He goes out there, he gets the football. Great interior guy as well. He's going to do exactly what we need from him in between the hashes. That's something we severely lacked last year on this Michigan roster. And I really like J.J. Buchanan. I think he's going to have a very, very good role in this offense as the wide receiver too. And it's going to allow Andrew Marsh to be that much better because he has the support of a different wide receiver that can actually make a play.
Andrew Marsh was there sporting a new hairdo, if you will. He had the bleach blonde. He had the bleach blonde on top with the side shade was black. I was like, whenever they start getting their hair, whenever players start getting their hair colored, I'm always like, oh man, I don't know. Amon-Ra St. Brown was the exception to the rule. Got his hair colored and turned up a notch with the blue hair, 100%. But I always think guys like DK Metcalf, you start seeing their hair turn colors, you're like, here come the gold hoop, here come the cross hangle. I don't know. But,
I hate the fit for Whittingham over there because I think it's the best hire maybe that was out there for you guys.
Yeah.
I really do hate it. I was hoping that you guys would go get a Hoke or Rich Rod or something along those lines. But no, I think that when you said the man's man, when you come from out west, especially a place like Utah, it's a different place. It's not just like all the rest of the out west. You not only have to come and bring your authority to a super alpha university like U of M, but you've also got to be able to assimilate with the people. And I think that there were some concerns from a lot of different types of Michigan people. Everything that I've heard is just glowing so far of him, which rats.
I would say it like this, Justin. I think I had a different perception of kind of what the situation was. I think we look at how Jim Harbaugh left and then how Sharon Moore came in. It was like you got Sharon Moore and you hired him legitimately in the middle of the night. You hired him in the 25th hour. You missed the recruiting window. You didn't miss the opportunity to vet a coach, see what he's like. Oh, man, this guy could be good for the job if Jim makes that move. This was just like, all right, bet he's here. Let's hire him, and it didn't work out for you. With the Whittingham situation, I feel like it was the same. It was like, you got to fire Sharon Moore because you have to fire Sharon Moore. Now you're just grabbing a coach in the middle of the night. Now it felt like you were doing it all over again. And looking at it now, I don't think that was the case. You look at Kyle Whittingham, who many people thought were getting pushed out of Utah. It's not necessarily the case. He was done. Mm-hmm. He had accomplished all he had accomplished in Utah. Like, he didn't think that Utah had the capital to keep up, to compete with what this era is, the NIL, the money, the dollar, the quan. He didn't think Utah could keep up. He had done enough throughout his career. He was getting up there in age, still had a lot of quality of life left. Shoot, I just sit it down. Me and the wife, we can travel the world. We can do the things. I can ride my Harley, ride my motorcycle. This is what life is for me now. Oh, but wait. Michigan goes have a conversation with him. They sit down. They talk to him. Hey, we love what you build out here at Utah. How about we give you some more ducats? How about we give you some more cash? And you come do that thing in the Midwest. I now think that's more of the conversation versus, can you come save us?
If you can consistently win and run a good program the way that he did at Utah, that's what you're seeking. If you're trying to it's not just filling an office and a position here anymore for you guys. It is, who's going to take us out of this perception battle that they're mired in? They have a good team. And they had a guy that not only screwed their perception over, but screwed their team over. He's coming in, Kyle, with all kinds of weapons offensively and defensively. Oh. But you've got a guy in Bryce Underwood that if you can unlock, I hate it, but you might be back battling for a national championship. I think that this is the type of guy that can do all of those things for you.
All right, with that question here, let's ask this question real quick. And I know we're going to get into the NFL because the NFL is hot and heavy.
Heating up. Let's go.
All right, it's heating up, starting to heat up. Certain people are asking to leave certain places. Other people are getting paid. Guys are on the move. And even players are being told to shut the hell up. This ain't Philly. It's going down in the NFL. Real quick around the room, what does success look like for Whittingham this year? Justin, I'm going to start with you because you know the roster backwards and forwards. The roster is better than I think people give it credit for. Still not among the top 15 in the league. In the country or so. What does success look year one for Kyle Whittingham?
Success in year one looks better than it looked last year. I don't really care about the record because last year's schedule was a lot easier than it is this year.
Your feel, not numbers.
Yes, I'm feel. Like, okay. I want to see the offensive line look better. I want to see Bryce Underwood develop because at the end of the day, usually like the quarterbacks who are winning college football playoff games are juniors, seniors. Like the experience does matter. So I'm not going to judge a guy in his sophomore season when he's going to have potentially 2 more seasons to prove everything he has to prove in terms of winning and putting up statistics. I think that just seeing because the freshman year is a wash, especially for Bryce Underwood. So this is kind of a pseudo, like a redshirt freshman year for Bryce Underwood, and I'm kind of just looking for it to look better in terms of how clean it is and just how competitive they are versus last year where I just felt like, what the fuck am I watching?
I would agree. It is about Phil. It's not necessarily about the numbers. I mean, they do have a tough schedule. They got to play Oklahoma. They have to play Oregon. They have to play Indiana. They have to play Ohio State. There are some teams on that schedule that they're going to have to contend with. But it is about competition. Like, I got to see them compete. Win the games that you're supposed to win, as Lloyd Carr used to tell us all the time. You win the games you're supposed to win, and outside of that, you got to compete. Like, I don't care if you lose in tight games against these teams. These teams are what they are. You look at Ohio State. Their roster is firepower. Like, I don't need you getting your ass whooped. I don't need to see guys quitting. I don't need to see guys coming out in the second half looking like they did in the first half. That's the big thing. I agree with you, Justin. It's not a number. It's not 9. It's not 10. It's not 8. Can you compete and win the games you're supposed to win?
Before I respond, I need to hear Cam's answer now.
Whoa. So, I mean, I feel like it has to be more complete team ball. Like the offense complementing the defense, vice versa. I want to see more execution. And as Juice had mentioned, I want to see Bryce take it to that next level, or at least like a level higher than where he was last year.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I actually talked to some of the coaches about Bryce Young. I want to get the full scope. Like, what was last year? How did last year look? Give me the behind-the-scenes closed door. Now, without giving names, I will tell you this, and I talked to damn near the whole team. Bryce didn't have and we've said this on Network before. Bryce didn't have a quarterback's coach in high school. Like, hard stop. Like, all these kids you see today, these number one players in ESPN are going to these major schools and institutions. Like, typically, they got a quarterback's coach. They've been to all the camps. They've done everything under the sun. Not necessarily Bryce's story. Then he gets to Michigan, has no quarterback coach. How do you get to an institution that has a national championship within the last 5 years, and you don't have a quarterback coach on staff, players have to develop year by year. And you're telling me that this guy hasn't had a chance to develop from a specific position in the last 3 years? Like, that's why it looks like that. So I think the big thing for me, too, with the coaching staff, not that you got coaches, be professional, look like you know what the hell you're doing. How many times last year were we watching games and we were like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is the play call? What is going on? What's the ideology here? Like, what's the method to the madness here? So I think that changes with this new staff.
I feel like you got all the Wolverines wore their kids' gloves today. Come on, say it. You guys aren't going to be happy with cohesive football, all right? 4 losses is failure. 3 losses is acceptable. 2 losses and a trip to the college football playoffs is success in Ann Arbor. There is nothing else. Am I the only Spartan in the room that can speak the truth on the Wolverines? Because that's what it is. You guys expect this man to come in and make them not look as bad as they did under Sharon Moore. You guys expect this man to come in and appoint somebody to unlock Bryce Underwood. And you guys have to. You can't waste another year of Bryce Underwood with 4 losses. He'll be in LSU.
Okay, fair. The standard of the University of Michigan is always 9 wins or more. That's the thought process, and I get that. You're talking about a brand new coach, and you're also talking about a more expanded Big Ten. This isn't the Big Ten from 2005 where you're just playing.
But there's nobody outside of those 4 teams you mentioned that they should lose to, right?
Okay, but that's still 4 losses.
No, I'm saying those are all
where
4
they
of those
will be
games.
underdogs in every single one of those games.
But I'm just saying those 4 games are huge. I don't think that they're as bad as they looked under Sharon Moore. I don't think that Bryce Underwood is what Neil thinks that he is.
3 of those teams are in the top 6 in the country.
Listen,
preseason, and it is preseason.
You guys, as Wolverine fans, you all think in your mind and your heart that they're winning at least one of those games. Am I wrong?
Fair.
Okay. Y'all hoping. Okay,
I don't. I think they're going to lose all 4.
You do. Okay. And I appreciate you. You are a college
There's
football
one that
elite.
There's one that I'll give
But
you.
I'm going to tell you this, Justin. Michigan fan won't be happy with 4. That's for sure.
And to Justin's point, to go back to what Justin said, if Michigan loses for those 4 games, win the other 8, see what happens with the playoff system, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. How does Bryce Underwood look in that 8-4 season? Because if Bryce comes out with 3,800 yards and just 27 touchdowns or so, less interceptions, and he has some yards on the ground, 400 yards, something like. Now he looks like something like we were promised when he came out of Belleville.
Freddie
I think
Feld.
that looks different. Go ahead.
Freddie Feld. I haven't worn kid gloves since I was 3, Anson. Playoffs are bust. Beat Sparty, beat Ohio, make the playoffs consistently.
Well, you gotta win.
For Freddie, success looks like a mohawk, which he cannot wait for you to see.
Freddie's got a mohawk now?
Apparently.
Awesome.
Apparently.
Freddie Field's got a mohawk?
That's right.
Look, the expectations in Michigan are always high and fair. It's been that way my whole life. Like when I was there, it was what it was. We went 8-4. We went 8-4 my freshman year, and you thought the city was blowing up. I get it. I 100% understand it. But that thing was a dumpster fire last year. Like a dumpster fire all the way around, on the field, off the field, around the field, around the locker
Michigan
room.
Football I watched.
Yeah, it was just a dumpster fire. So to sum it up, change that part.
But I mean, like, you can watch an organization get flipped in a month, man.
Yeah.
You bring the right leadership in and you get the wrong leadership out.
I will say this, you're absolutely correct, and we'll find out sooner than later, because I believe that game September 12th against Oklahoma at the Big House, it will say a lot about a lot.
Very winnable game for you guys.
I think that's the one. You win now when it changes the trajectory of the season.
Oklahoma has no idea what y'all look like either. Yeah. No one does.
No one does.
And you've got that up your sleeve for that game so much. I think that you're going to see the leg cuffs come off of Bryce Underwood and what he can mean to Ann Arbor and to the state of college football. You watch his interviews, and he's sold on himself being that. I saw it in his tape at Belleville, the ability to be that. And considering the guy that had a butter knife not so long ago was the one thing standing in his way, I think that can be fixed.
And I'm not saying that I would be happy with 4 losses.
I know you wouldn't, buddy.
That and what I said from the jump is that I want it to look better, and there's a possibility that 8-4 could look like 4 7-point losses to 3 top 6 teams and a top 10 team in the country. And that's where you have to have the context to the season in there. Michigan has, I believe, a top 5 toughest schedule in the entire country this year. And I don't know if this team is ready to answer the bell on that. That Oklahoma team will tell you everything they need to do because they are a playoff team.
I want to know what the chat thinks. Give them a poll.
Also, too, like to even make that make more sense, remember the 2020 season for the Detroit Lions? Remember what that felt like? Remember what that looked like? The last of the Contrition era. Do you remember what that season looked like and what it felt like? Fast forward, do you remember the end of 2021? Now, they only went 3-13-1.
We started Woodward. Me and Stick went a whole calendar year without one W.
So that's what I'm saying. So legitimately, that 2020 season, even though in 21 they went 3-13-1, you felt a little bit different. And I'm not saying it's hindsight. Now we know what the Lions are going to be. No, you felt different. You felt games like they're losing, but they're still fighting in the fourth quarter. They're still giving everything they got for this man, Dan Campbell. You started to see some of the play of some of those guys early on. That's when Amon-Ra St. Brown took his leap, if you will. You saw and felt the difference, and they still had a losing record. I think that's more along the line of what Justin's saying. It's the feel. You know when things have changed. Sure. You don't need to see a number.
Doesn't it already feel like that, Cam?
I mean, I just feel like it's better product, better results.
Yeah.
What I watched last year was not fun. Yeah. It just wasn't.
And I don't ever want to watch that again. All right, look, enough about Michigan for right now. Let's take a quick commercial break, and when we come back.
More on Michigan.
Oh, yeah, give me Planet Fitness. Well, your fitness is essential.
Do two.
Oh, okay.
I'm just telling you double up.
Oh, that's all good. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. I actually got to go to Planet Fitness today to get my girl's daughter a gym membership. So I'm telling you, I practice what I preach. This is the place where I go, and this is the place I grow mentally and physically. Go there. 2,700 gyms around the country. Go pick one.
Hey, and I'm here to tell you about All Day IPA. We still kind of need them because it's still pretty hot in here, but I know you're going to be at the store this weekend with a choice. Some old, tired beer, or the king of the IPA category. We're talking about All Day IPA from Founders Brewing. Listen, it's balanced, never bitter, refreshing, citrusy, and that 4.7 ABV. Get to your nearest retailer and get some All Day IPA, but make sure when you do that you drink it responsibly. And I want to tell you about Yaldo Eye Center as well, guys, because they've been doing it for over 30 years here in the state of Michigan. Over 100,000 successful procedures. Of course, I am talking about LASIK surgery, and I know you have been thinking about it. So we paired up with them to give you an amazing summer special here, $16.99 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Check it out today. You can make a call at 248-553-9800 or check them out at the Yaldo Eye Center. Tell them about some water hazard, guys.
Let me, or maybe Cam, I'm going to see where the camera's pointed. Hold on, Cam. Oh, you Cam,
Probably,
you got it.
I got you.
Double up with the Founders.
You know, Water Hazard is the very first canned vodka brought to you by Michigan's very own Founders. At 5% ABV, it is mad citrusy, refreshing, and a really cool blue hue on it. Best served with ice. Best served on ice with a slice of lemon, preferably. Get $5 cans at any R&J Jake's locations in Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Please drink responsibly.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
And we are back. Just like we are back, so are the Detroit Lions, who started training camp today, I believe. First day back out at practice. Not a lot to report from there. But are you getting excited? Can you feel it in the air?
It definitely is in the air. People are chomping at the bit, man.
And as they should be. The Detroit Lions going into last season, one of the favorites to be a contender. We all know how that ended. Made some moves in the offseason, revamped the roster, added some depth, and now here they are in 2026 for the 6-year campaign for Dan Campbell and these Detroit Lions. I always get excited about training camp because it's a new roster. Like most sports are, but no more than football. You're talking about 61 roster spots. You're talking about 93 when you started camp. You're talking about a lot of different moves. There's different coaches. There's different players. There's different stars. There's different starters. Every year, it's a completely different team. And that team, you knew, that team is gone. There is no Alex Anzalone. There is no David Montgomery. There is no Taylor Decker. There's a lot of veterans that are gone. There's a lot of new guys that are gone. There's some coaches that are gone, all for the better. And you replace them with players that can be better. Cade Mays taking over from Graham Glasgow at the center position. Excited to see what that looks like. He's got to be one of those players to lay it all on the line. We make so much about the offensive line here in Detroit, and we talked about how great we were in 23 and 24. The offensive line is the key. So looking like a guy in Cade Mays that can hunker down that offensive line, that's a good move. We talk about the defensive line. Talking about Aleem McNeil. Last year, he came back after injury towards ACL in 2024.
Hot button in Detroit, Aleem McNeil.
It is. I see Crunch Time got into it a little bit.
Boy, they got into it.
Talking about
Booner
Aleem.
stood his ground, though. Where are
He
you
did.
at on that? I mean, he's paid to be a top 5 D tackle in the league right now.
I think Booner and Jeff both have great points. I think realistically, there were some times where, Aleem McNeil necessarily didn't show up in 23 and 24. But to Jeff Ifredi's point, and I agree with this, he had 25 to show you, and he got injured. So you didn't get the 25. I mean, 23 and 22, and he gets hurt in 24. 23 and 24 is where the inconsistency. As soon as he gets paid in 24, he gets hurt 2 games later and missed the 25 campaign until Game 7. So, I agree on both. I agree with Jeff. You got to relax. You got to calm down, and you got to see. Last year, you're coming off of an ACL injury. You're talking about a guy that's 330 pounds. It takes a while to get back to form, especially when you're spending a lot of time low in depth, low in leverage. But now you're back, and now I got to see what that money is talking about. You're one of the top 5 defensive tackles at that pay, top 10, You got to perform like such. Because the more and more he plays at a higher level, the less we're talking about that right in, which we're still yet to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you get back for a full year and you have that confidence and understanding what the injury was, we saw him come back and be tentative, but he has to. It is so important with what he is paid and what he's supposed to mean to this team. The way that they signed him, beating the rest of the market, that can backfire tremendously. It might backfire with a guy like Kirby. I have high faith in Aleem McNeil. I loved what I saw before that happened. This isn't the type of injury that you can't come back from either.
Some of the stories to watch here in training camp, Justin, as we just kind of do an outline thinking about training camp, there's the secondary situation. What's going to happen with your safeties? Are Kirby Joseph as well as Brian Branch, will they be there in that secondary for this season? What's the offensive coordinators going to look like? You hired 2 new offensive coordinators this season, Mike Kafka out of the New York Giants for the passing game, and Drew Petzing, offensive coordinator from the Arizona Cardinals. What does that look like for you? What are some of your draft picks that people may have said, I don't know if I would have went that way or I wouldn't have reached on that situation? There are a lot of stories surrounding camp. What's the most interesting? Even the extensions. Sam Laporta on deck. Jahmyr Gibbs, that ever go in conversation? What are the stories that you're paying attention to right now in training camp?
I'm really intrigued by the coordinators because we've seen over the last couple of years, and I think last year the Bears is such a great example of what a really great coordinator can do to a very mid unit, and that's what he did with that Bears defense. And I'm talking about Dennis Allen, who is known as one of the best defensive coordinators in all of football. I'm looking for both of these coordinators to upgrade their units in scheme-wise and in play call-wise, because honestly, it's a very similar thing as what we just talked about with Michigan. there were times last year where you're scratching your head, like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And obviously, when you're talking about defense and Calvin Shepard, it's hard to know exactly if, did that cornerback make the right read? Did the safety make the right read? But when I was watching the Bears game, I just went back and watched it over the weekend, Bray, and there was one play in particular where they were running 2 out wide to the left, and there was one safety over the top. It was Avonte Maddox. And when Luther Burden, he was the outside receiver, he ran a post, and Colston Loveland ran a comeback. And Avonte Maddox, there was a linebacker there. He also went on Colston Loveland, leaving Luther Burden one-on-one in an outside leverage cornerback, where it was an easy pitch and catch for Caleb Williams, which let them back into the game in that game. That's the type of stuff where I'm like, I need Calvin Shepard to be better. We can't be leaving one safety back there on outside leverage and allowing the Bears' best receiver to get open like that. That's just ridiculous.
I definitely agree with that as it relates to the secondary, as it relates to the lapses and just the mental being out of it. And that right there, that's just a lapse in judgment. That's a mental. That's called a mental assignment. That's an MA. You're supposed to be somewhere else and you're not. But how many MAs are you going to have? You want those linebackers, you want that secondary to be better. I think that's why you go out and you get players like Roger McCreary. That's why you go out and get depth pieces like Damone Clark. That's why you go out and you draft Keith Abney Jr. I think that's why you pay Rock Yassin. So I want to see, to your point, what is Calvin Shepard going to bring this year? Because I think we didn't give Aaron Glenn that excuse for too long. You don't have the players, you don't have the depth.
And they never gave him.
And he ended up doing more with less.
For the 1 year, the half year, while they were healthy, they looked top 10 unit. They did. They were really good. I hate to sell out K-Shep. I've never seen it. I've never seen the creativity with what you have. In fact, it seems like we're running schemes we're not built for. And as much as you want to run that, you don't have the personnel for that, especially as you get hurt more and more and more. His unwillingness to bend and be flexible as the season goes on and some guys are playing better or some guys aren't even available at all, I don't have high hopes for K-Shep, excuse me. I do think that he could be very good. I don't think that they gave him the 3 rooms to be great with. I do like our defensive line, especially if aforementioned Ali McNeil can really bring it the way he did a couple of years ago. But I think that that's kind of the weak link in our coaching right now. I like what Dan brings, but somebody has to be making the calls for him. But on the defensive side, I've just never seen anything from K-Shep to make me excited.
Well, let me ask you this then, Justin. Do you feel like did Aaron Glenn get too much credit while he was here? And I'm trying to phrase that in such a way where our offense was elite the whole time Aaron Glenn was here. The last 2 years at least, the offense was elite. You see what they're doing. They're scoring the top 3 in the league. They're putting a lot of pressure on teams. Like, his defenses didn't have to be that great. And I think last year was the first year the offense took a major step back. No Ben Johnson, no offensive line. Now you take a step back. Now that defense, those linebacker holes were there when Aaron Glenn was here. And those linebackers weren't necessarily the greatest group when he was here. The defensive line struggled when he was here. The secondary, outside of 1 year we had Carlton Davis on one side, like the secondary, and then Kirby Joseph and Brandy, the DBs have suffered. So is it more so last year the offense exposed the defense fully, or did we give Aaron Glenn too much credit?
I think that it's a little bit of both, and I hate that. I hate that's a cop out. I'm sorry. I'm walking the line.
Both can be true.
But I do truly believe that both are true. I think that the way that the offense just completely collapsed last year, like the fact that we couldn't put up more than 10 points against the Vikings is utterly absurd. Like, that should never happen in a game. But at the same time, Aaron Glenn deserves a lot of credit. The creativity and I think a misconception a lot of people have about that Lions defense was all Aaron Glenn did was what Dan Campbell asked his defense to do. Timely turnovers, win the turnover battle, don't let up too many, gap plays that allow long touchdowns where the offense has to get right back on the field. The offense is the centerpiece of the team. You just need to do the very minimalist job that you need to do, which in that 2024 season, if that defense got 2 stops a game, the offense won the game. It was that simple. And so when you're not asking them to do a lot, and they don't necessarily have a lot, But Aaron Glenn was scheming them up. I mean, you think about the way he used Brian Branch, you think of and Kirby Joseph, like because there is a nuance to using them in the correct way that allows Kirby Joseph to be in the place to get all those picks, allowing Brian Branch to be in the box, hitting people in the way that he's most effective. So I do think that it does have a ton to do with Aaron Glenn, in my opinion.
What newcomer are you most excited to watch? What newcomer are you more watching and paying closer attention to as training camp gets underway, Anson?
I don't know why, but it's TJ Wanham. We talked about it yesterday. We kind of talked about who we thought the biggest surprise would be out of additions and who might actually end up being a little bit of a disappointment. And I said that Moore would be the disappointment, not because he's not going to be good. I think he's going to be very good, but I think that there's a sky-high hopes out of a lot of fans, especially Michigan Wolverine Lion fans who just think this guy is going to come and set the world on fire with 9 or 11 sacks. I don't know that. I don't think that he's going to have that much field time to be able to do it because I think that DJ Wanham was a crafty signing. I think that he's probably one of the best priced signings out there for what he can do, which is stay on the field.
Should be.
He can play in pass, he can play in rush, and there's a lot of different things that he can do. But to your point, Bray, he has to do them. Unless Derek Moore comes in and can absolutely be that difference maker from week one, I think that you're going to see probably the first 10 to 12 weeks of DJ Wanham playing a lot of time. Hopefully that starts to get more balance with him and Derek Moore, but I hope and believe that we are going to see a guy that people aren't very familiar with after he started off down in Carolina coming here to Detroit. I think that he'll be one of those guys that works himself in, kind of like an Alex Anzalone, somebody that we thought was just kind of a guy, but ends up being a pretty impactful piece.
Defense is always the side you want to watch. I think the Lions have come into their own as it relates to the offense. Offensive line last year, not necessarily that good, but the offensive chemistry, you understand that from the skilled position group. So, defense is where you go. I'm going to stay on offense for mine, Jay. I'll go and I want you to go. For me, it's Greg Dortch. This is who I'm paying attention to. That. Greg Dortch, receiver, came out of Arizona Cardinals. He's very familiar with Drew Petzing. Drew Petzing very familiar with him. And when we saw his highlights, you see the explosive playmaking ability that he has. You see him in a tight space, tight corridors. He can make somebody miss in the phone booth. And then the speed is there. I want to say, obviously, he's going to be the replacement to Khalif Raymond, and especially considering our fifth rounder, who a lot of people are high on, goes down with an ACL injury in spring training. So I want to see what Greg Dortch looks like because he could be a guy to make some plays in there to give you a difference. You got the tall guy, Isaac Tesla is going to be your big play-making ability as it relates to the jump ball. J-Mo, take the top off the defense. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, your everyday elite handyman, every single position, every single way. Greg Dortch provides you something that they don't have, that explosive, that quick twitch, making people miss in the phone booth and having some fun with wide receiver screens. Interested to see how they develop that position for the Lions, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. And mine, it's yours too, because we actually talked about this yesterday when you were here. And mine's Keith Abney. And I don't think he's going to be playing outside corner, but I do think that his impact in the inside of the defense as a slot corner is going to be immense. I am so high on him. I really think he's going to be one of the best, I don't want to say best. I think he's going to be showing you immense value out of the nickel spot, especially for a fourth-round pick.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of potential there for Keith Abney Jr. I told you I like the long arms. I tell you every single time I like the way in which he plays the game. We were talking about J.J. Buchanan. It's similar. It's just very controlled. It's very calm. I like the way that he plays. A lot to watch, though. And that's the excitement of training camp. Every year there's something new. Every year there's something to keep an eye on. Even if you win the Super Bowl, there's change up, there's changeover, there's things, there's coaches, there's infighting, there's contracts. It's the good thing about football. They always provide you a lot of theater, and the Lions are no different.
A lot of people in the chat liking Dortch quite a bit.
Yeah.
Crisis King, I actually like Dortch as a wide receiver improvement over Raymond, but not improvement in the return game. A couple other people talking about it. Dortch is more dynamic than what Khalif Raymond was. You're going to lose a little bit of leadership in the locker room, and he goes over and takes that to Chicago. I know that Ben Johnson got him for more than just what he can do on the field, but Dortch is a guy that, after Amon-Ra takes a big gainer over the middle and has to come off the field, you can put him right into Amon-Ra's spot. running that slot. But if somebody goes down and you have to have him out there, for a large amount of snaps, a couple of games, couple of weeks this season, it's a guy that's truly capable of doing that and at a very, very good level. There is a loss with Khalif Raymond, but not on the field in terms of what you replace him with in Greg Dortch.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of those spots that you can put him in for Amon-Ra St. Brown, like, look, you get a ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, like, he is going to make something happen, but there is going to be a level of going out of bounds. It's not necessarily taking it to the house. Greg Dortch in those same spots,
yes, sir.
He might mess around, make one person miss, and he might be in the end zone hitting his head against the goal post. We caught up on we breaks. We smooth right now?
Yeah, we're pretty good.
Keep the combo going. But, yeah, when you go 9-8, there's a lot of conversation. There's a lot of conversation considering what you were going into the season like. And I know that these guys have had those conversations. I know that these guys have changed. You can kind of watch it. Just look around. Like, what have you heard about the Detroit Lions all offseason? It's been quiet. It's been mum's the word. Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown's little party that he did, his annual gala that he does. That's like the first time I've seen him outside. That's the first time I've seen anything. And him in this podcast, we're talking about David Montgomery, which I think we have that as well. We'll get to that later. But they've been quiet. Like, Dan's not doing commercials. Like, everything that's come about the Lions have been about players.
They're back to business.
Everything that's come about the Lions have been Lions that are no longer here.
You're so correct.
That's the only conversation have been Lions that are no longer here, whether it's Anzalone, whether it's Montgomery. We got rid of Terrion Arnold because of the situation, whether you agree or not. He's no longer here. Like, there's nobody here that's conversating.
And nobody here is disgruntled either. Yeah. You're not hearing it from any of these guys. They're telling you they're going to be here. And guys that aren't here anymore are telling you why they're mad that they weren't here anymore. And the same thing that I said last week, like, this feels so different from my lifetime as a Lions fan because usually you had a very different feeling coming from the people that left. They were joyous to be gone from Detroit. And now they're bitter because the culture has been changed here. And I think that the constant evolution of that is now, okay, we got our attention. We're kind of America's new darling. Let's do some Applebee's commercials. No, let's chill. Let's get some professional guys in here. Let's not take a dice roll on guys that have been oft injured through free agency. Let's not put half our roster in the hands of a first and second year guys. What they're relying on now, it's like a Malcolm Rodriguez in his 6th year, I don't mind him so much now if you've got to ask him to be a linebacker. Across the board, there's professional football players here. And honestly, I don't think that they were that far away last year.
I don't think they were that far away last year. Just a couple players
here.
I'm
telling you, one extra win, they're in the playoffs, and to me, that playoffs was completely winnable. I know Seattle was playing really well, but you can't tell me that they would have beaten us by more than one score. We had an opportunity in that game if we get an opportunity to play them. Even the Rams, because of that little blood feud we got with Matty over there. I just think that this is a team that is gritty enough to win any game against anybody in the NFC, as long as they're there to do it.
One of the ways in which they can win games was going to help them as a wide receiver play. And one wide receiver who last year as a rookie had 16 catches, 6 touchdowns, 239 yards, one Isaac Tesla. What's the jump and what's the usage this year, Jay, for him? What's the jump?
We should talk about that after the break.
Yeah, see, I got him excited about that.
That's a big one, man.
All right, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and we'll talk about that. Anson, tell me a little bit about Mortgage Pros.
I can do that, man. Broker. It is Michigan's #1 mortgage broker, and they want to change your life. I know that you guys have been thinking about it, so today, why not? Make the call. 248-416-1361. They're right in Troy. You can also check them out at mtgopros.com. We were out there and witnessed firsthand the employee culture. Awesome ownership, awesome people working there, awesome energy, and an amazing opportunity to, again, change your life. So make the call today to Mortgage Pros. But we are caught up. No, well, let's do buddies right now because you got one coming back. You can tell them about a chair when we come back. But right now, you got to eat. And I want to save you 20% off of them. Buddy's Pizza is partnered up with Woodward Sports, so when you head on over to buddiespizza.com, you drop that Woodward 20, and it's going to get you that 20% off, but it'll also work for up to $200 off of their catering. They got it all over there, pasta, pizza, salad, and everything in between. They are the original. They're Buddy's Pizza.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
If you want to be fist bumping about your relaxation game like you just saw Jared Goff do in that sweeper, well, make sure you tap in with Massage Chair House. They will have you more relaxed than you could ever imagine. I don't think you've ever reached the amount of chill that you possibly could do on a Sunday while watching the Detroit Lions if you had a Pharaoh or a Saki with you. So make sure you tap in with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc, who has the largest massage chair showroom in the great state of Michigan, and scan that QR code above my head and tap in with his YouTube channel to get all the knowledge that you need before you make your purchase.
And we are back. Welcome back in. Woodward Sports, Braylon Edwards show. How's everybody feeling?
Real good. It's nice and cool in here. What does it say?
Cooler.
76?
77.
77.
Still 77.
Thought it got down to 76. You're going to get me excited.
Did it feel like it's been 6 months or five and some change? Did it feel like a long time from the Chicago Bears game to training camp today?
No, because the NBA playoffs and the Larkin and Iserman saga, I think that there's actually
World
been
Cup
surprising. World Cup for sure helped a ton.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It was a barren wasteland for the first few years at Woodward between the Lions seasons.
It was tough.
Fortunately, we had a little bit of the Tigers, and then the Pistons in the last 2 years. But yeah, man, I mean, the Pistons losing the first round last year, we were 2 extra weeks of making it feel long. But I think FIFA really did help, man. Being here in the U.S., it was cool.
Shout out to the crookedness of FIFA. Before we went to the commercial break, ask you a question. Ask you about Isaac Tesla. What did you want to see out of him this year? Detroit Lions have gone on record saying they didn't necessarily use him as much as they should early on in the season. Well, he's no surprise, and neither are they. Justin, what does it look like from big number 18 this year?
I'm looking for I keep saying this, and I feel bad. I feel like I keep copping out to the chat, but it's not a stats thing.
Yeah,
it is a what I see on the field thing. I want his snap share. I guess this is a stat. I want his snap share to go up. I want him to have a more diverse route tree. I want to see essentially, to a lesser degree, because Jameson Williams obviously popped in his second year. I don't think he's going to necessarily pop, but I do think he's going to have a significant stat increase. I think he's going to have a higher usage in the red zone. I think he's going to be used as a receiving tight end of sorts, as being split out in formation and because he has that bigger body, and then dominate the middle of the field. I think that if you have Laporta, Tesla, and St. Brown all as really big threats in the middle of the field, in between the numbers, I think that it makes your offense so dangerous, especially when you can put Tesla on the outside. That little slot fade that he can run is extremely dangerous, and then obviously J-Mo over the top and Greg Dortch, two just absolute burners.
Yeah, I agree. It's not about stats because, look, the Lions have a lot of weapons. It's only one ball, and Jared Goff has that ball. So we know it's not going to be a ton of stats when you have J-Mo, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Don't forget Pacheco has to get stats as well. And get all that. But it's presence for me. Like, it is about presence for me. You have to establish presence. You're talking about a guy, and when we saw the athletic ability and the skill, when you throw balls in the end zone, in the red zone, he can go get them. He can make plays for you. Touchdowns matter. Touchdowns win games. Yeah, I know it's cliche. They win games. I need to see him in active rotation when he's down in the red zone. When you're at the 5-yard line, throw a fade ball to him. I love St. Brown. You don't need to post St. Brown up if you got Isaac Tesla out there from time to time. Take some shots with him. Also early on, like you said, get him involved in the intermediate game. Like legitimately, Josh Reynolds wasn't catching more passes than J-Mo or whoever. Josh Reynolds still made an impact on third down in the red zone. You saw the same thing with Tim Patrick. Once Jared Goff felt good with Tim Patrick, you start to see him in the red zone. You start to see him in the end zone, the back of the end zone. For me, it's not about 40. It's not 50 catches or 60, a magical number. I need presence. I need to be in games. Yeah, man, he's had a couple catches. He's made a presence. He's gotten the first down. Some of those games last year, you forgot he was on the team at the end of the season.
And that...
So presence is what I need to see from them and him because he has it. It's about them utilizing it.
And that's the thing is they have to utilize it. They have to put it into play. I'm not sure they fully trusted him last year.
No.
I think they wanted him to be something that they weren't ready to trust him to be. I saw a lot of signs of like Puka-esque late round magic. Like, I don't want to compare him to Puka directly, but this is a guy that was slept on in the draft process, coming from a couple of different transfers, Hillsdale to Arkansas. This kid, I truly believe, might be your number one here, not this year, but you're going to see him competing with both J-Mo and Amon-Ra at times this year.
When?
And I'm telling you, man, I think that you're going to see him make some
I came
big
back
plays.
To be nice. I came back because I missed you.
This is you out there, though. This is the closest thing they have to you out there.
No, it's not me out there. I went third overall in the draft. Like,
I get that.
When you talk about challenge,
you didn't play at Hillsdale Community College.
When you talk about, but people take.
But they don't have.
People
that
take an elongated route.
Receiver.
Kenny Galladay took an elongated route. So I get it. The elongated route is, and you know how I feel about him. I can't stand him. But anyway, elongated route, I don't mind that. But you talk about challenge for a number one spot.
Not this year.
Guys, but usually by year one, you know what somebody is. And the reason why I say that, look at St. Brown. Like St. Brown, by the end of his first year, had 987 yards.
Who's in front of him?
And you knew him as a player.
My thing is this is a unique.
I'm like, they made a mistake on him.
This
not
is a
the
unique
Lions
situation, though, because he's coming in and sitting behind two really talented receivers. One who's gone all pro, and the other one who was drafted to be that.
But he didn't start. But see, now I don't want to say it like that. Now I have to knock Isaac Tesla down the page just to be right. He didn't start in college. So that's the difference. Like Isaac Tesla was the third receiver at Arkansas his last year, and he was more so used in the seam and in the slot.
By 2027, you'll see this guy having more stats.
Anson, bro, can I have the loom
than
that
the
you
wide
got?
receiver that everybody else wants? Everybody here wants it to be J-Mo.
Right.
Everybody in town wants J-Mo to be the number one. And I don't have a problem with that. There's times when you see what he does, okay. Yeah. But this guy may end up usurping, for sure, J-Mo in this offense. And I don't think that it's crazy to see this kid develop over the next 2 years into something really, really special.
I think it is. I think it is. Let me go, Braylon. Let me take my crack at this, please. Yeah. Because why people say that Jameson Williams can be a wide receiver one, more on this in a second as well, shout out Steve Smith, is that Jameson Williams, when Amon-Ra St. Brown has gone out, he has come out and had huge games. 7 catches, $150, touchdown, St. Brown goes down on Thanksgiving. That's the type of thing that a guy who shows number one wide receiver potential is showing you. Even in J-Mo's rookie year, J-Mo still had games where you were like, whoa, holy shit. And then you would, like, all you've seen from Isaac Tesla is a couple of jump balls against some 5'9" cornerbacks that he should be mossing, all right? And they're all at garbage time. Show me the Isaac Tesla touchdown that actually mattered. So, you know what? Anson, I can't vibe with this at all. I don't want to knock Isaac Tesla. I love him as a player. I think he's a great wide receiver 3. If you wanted to tell me that he could be a wide receiver 2 in this league, I would have been like, all right.
Yeah.
Now
and the Chance man, too, because I compared him to Braylon.
Well, yeah, that's ridiculous, too. He had 16 touchdowns.
I get you. You'll not be mad at that. What I'm saying is we don't have a big-bodied, like, traditional X receiver in this offense.
I understand.
Like, J-Mo is your streaking Y. Right? And ASRB is your guy that is in the middle. That you move all over the place. He's your prototypical slot. We don't have that prototypical X. This guy has the speed, the size, the hands, and the build, much like this specimen to my right. All right? So I'm not trying to say he's Braylon. All right? I will fight with anybody that says this isn't the greatest wide receiver to come out of Michigan ever. I'm looking at you, Swanky. But, all right? Listen, Kevin Bell, you crazy, bro. Who's been crazy in the chat since last week, Mr. Bell? But don't sleep on the plans that they have for him. This isn't just a third-round pick. It's 3 third-round picks.
Right.
I had a fat history teacher.
Oh, God, what's this?
No. No, this is very funny.
I had a fat history teacher.
No, it's very funny because it's a type of conundrum. So I get to UD Jesuit, 7th grade. I went from 7th to 8th grade. Mr. Bell, one of the best teachers I ever had, like geography. Like, he knows where everything is, explain everything. He was great. But I found out he was the high school track coach. You know, I ran track. So when they point, I said,
was he shot put?
You mean Mr. Bell? Like,
was he shot put?
Mr. Bell Degas? Like, Mr. Bell, how's a fat guy the track coach? So whenever I hear Mr. Bell, I always think about my history, my geography.
That's
Mr. Bell.
funny.
Love you, Mr. Bell. He was a good coach. It's not about how you look. It's the information that you have. Distance. Like distance runners are real nice.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to distance runner. But no, I'm not saying that you're trying to compare him to us, but just it will take a long road for him to be a number 1 wide receiver in this league.
They're mad at me. They're mad at me. I'm sorry.
This is typical though. But engaging him, I think it's about presence, and I think it's about the things that we've collectively said. You got to have that presence, and they got to trust him and use him more because there is a lot to Isaac Tesla. I ain't saying number 1, number 2. There's a lot to Isaac Tesla that can win you some games and help you out.
If he brings down that touchdown the end of the season, puts us in the playoffs, y'all speaking a little differently on the kid?
Unfortunately, it's a different conversation.
This is true. He did not catch it.
Like, he catches that, it's a different conversation to be had. Like, I know that sounds unfair, but it goes back to that trust. Like, they trusted him in that moment to call his number against the Steelers with the game on the line, and he threw in the back of the end zone, something that we all had been clamoring for the whole season. They gave him that opportunity, and they need to give him much more. But to your point, he didn't come down with it. And they win one more game, they might be in the playoffs, so it's a different conversation.
777ville says, I'm cooking. I'm telling you, there's just something weird about the Tesla thing. Like, I don't necessarily say that I want that to happen. I really like the way they look now. I'd love to see J-Mo go off and have his year.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, man, we might end up having, like, it won't even be a debate. Like, the best wide receiver room is hands down in Detroit. It's just not about Amon-Ra and J-Mo.
Well, you add that as a third wide receiver, you definitely might have yourself a conversation. It's actually a conversation that was entertained by one Steve Smith, who's one of the best wide receivers that I've ever seen play his game. I actually got into a bit of a situation with Steve Smith back in the day. Yes. But we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and we will talk about that. I still to this day, I don't know how he was mad at me. But anyway, tell me a little bit about Icon Auto Braylon, and I will.
Do it.
We're excited to welcome Icon Auto Repair and Collision, the Woodward Sports, to the family. If you, I remember we used to do that back in the day because of, what's his name? Brian Kelly. The family. Anyway, if you've been in an accident or your vehicle needs repairs, make sure you trust the team at Icon Auto Repair and Collision. They will also even give you free car loans as well as pay your deductible. They do it all there, so it's the one-stop shop for you. You get in an accident, this is the number you call.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. One's great. Two, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey guys, let me tell you about Supreme Lending because it is the middle of home buying season. I know you've been thinking about it. Maybe you've been thinking about just refinancing. Either way, you need to give Supreme a call. Chris and Chad are standing by waiting to let you know how to get to the finish line. They want to walk you through from start to finish, get you into the best situation possible for the best loan program possible, including that 0% down payment that you see there. If you mention Woodward Sports, we're going to save you up to $500 off of your home appraisal as well. So don't delay. Give Supreme Lending a call today.
Top 10?
No.
Top 5? 10?
They don't. Here's why they don't rank top 5. Here's why.
Yeah.
Because J-Mo is still working.
Okay.
Right? When I put here's the thing. If you remove J-Mo's speed, is he better than T. Higgins?
I think right now T. Higgins is better, even if with J-Mo's speed.
But I'm taking his superpower away.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm going to take your height away.
Yeah, like if you take Tyreek Hill's his speed away, like he's not Tyreek Hill.
Well, if you make T. Higgins 5'10",
he's not T. Higgins.
Probably not that great.
Yeah, like
it's an L take, man.
Yeah. Steve Smith is a very interesting guy. Like the thing that I was teasing about is I've told this story on the show before, I believe. We were playing Carolina. This was my rookie year, and they got interviewed in the locker room. They asked me about Steve Smith being as good as he is, considering his height. And I was trying to give one of my teammates a compliment, which is Dennis Northcutt, which is a wide receiver that I play with as well.
Cleveland.
And I'm like, you know what? I mean, it's not necessarily that big of a thing because we see it all the time with Dennis Northcutt. Like, it doesn't matter about size. Like, if you got that, if you got it, you got it. So I don't know how they spent it in the Carolina Hurricane or the Carolina Herald or whatever the hell their newspaper is called, or the Charlotte News. But I just remember coming out in pregame warm-up, and Steve Smith had the half cut off shirt. He had the beanie on, walked right up to me. Hey, Howie. I don't know if you said that. I'm like, whoa. What is going on right now? And then he just get in my face. I'm like, all right, so now I got to fight this dude. So we about to square up. Keyshawn Johnson was also on the team that year. Me and Keyshawn Johnson had a relationship. He ran over there and got in the middle because it was about to go down and broke it up. He said, man, you better never fix your mouth the same thing about me. You don't know me. I was like, I said, man, you a little wild. Like, I still was behooved to what was going on. I said nothing negative about this man.
He's got the dog in him, though.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, he is.
Like,
he wouldn't have had the career he did at that height.
He's a monster.
If he didn't do that, for sure.
Let me take Steve Smith's super competitive edge and let's numb him down and then let's see if he's a Hall of Famer then.
His speed to get where he is, you know?
Right. His physicality, speed, his route running ability, he had great hands, the whole 9 yards. Like, look, there's a lot to love about him. There's some things I don't disagree. I don't agree with him on. And that's this one, too. Like, I don't agree with him on this tape.
Okay, so Pickens, Higgins.
So I followed
who else?
I saw the whole conversation.
Okay.
And one of the things he was talking about in the conversation was J-Mo's not a number one. He said if you look at, which no shit, he's a number 2. This is why we're talking about duos. But anyway, I digress. He said when you look at the route tree is from 0 to 9. These are the routes: the 0, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. Different routes. But 0 is a screen, 1 is a slant, 2. So you go all the way up to 9. He says J-Mo only runs half of that route tree. He said most of his stuff is deep goes, posts, and slants, which early on I did agree with a little bit. But you're talking about balancing the opposite side. You're talking about what you are as a whole. I get it. It's easy to have 1,000 yards. So many people have had 1,000 yards in the last 7-8 years. It's not even a sexy threshold anymore. Oh, you got 1,000 yards, congratulations, unless you're a tight end. But with that being said, J-Mo is special. J-Mo is legit. J-Mo's gotten better year by year. You talked about it, Justin. You see what he did when Amon-Ra St. Brown went down. You see what he did in these certain games. He is legit number 2, working his way into the number 1 spot. So I disagree with this take. Like, you're talking about they're not top 5.
Well,
show me 5 teams better.
Yeah, that's the
show me 5 teams better.
So
5 duos.
My thing is he has a point in that right now J-Mo is truly still a number 2 receiver in design and how he runs. Pickens is a number 1.
Facts.
But he's a number 2 supposedly.
But let me add, okay.
T. Higgins.
I'm so glad somebody said the Pickens, because before he was
a number 1. Period.
Before he had 1,300 last year, was he a number 1? Period.
No,
well, he was supposed to be. He had bad quarterback play for the most part.
True, but was he a number 1?
Well, you're asking a guy who's a big fan of it. He did not put up number 1 numbers. However, he sat in the offense as the number 1 for the majority of his career. In Pittsburgh, okay? Now, I don't want to get too caught up on him because you look at T, you look at Devontae, you look at both Devontaes, all right? And all 4
one of
those,
them's a 1 now.
All 4 of those guys are really 1s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you take Puka off of that offense for half a season, he's not going to skip a beat as the number 1. But I don't find the 5th guy or the 5th team that has a second wide receiver that's better than him with a number 1 that's better than Amon-Ra. Oh, yeah. And then a running back. Because now, if we were talking about T. Higgins, I like Chase a lot, but he's not as good as Jameer, right? And you can do that along the line. So he's so focused on taking away the speed from J-Mo after he lived and made his living in the NFL on speed and athleticism.
But here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about me for the clip, okay? I'm not even going to focus on the 5 because, look, if you're going to say Detroit Lions are not a top 5 wide receiver duo, then the next conversation behind it, the next sentence is, these are the top 5. This is why these are the top 5, and the Lions are sitting at 6, correct? Instead, what he chose to do, bring up 2 wide receivers, and then brought up J-Mo's speed. Like, this has become about J-Mo and not the duo.
Right.
You make a comment. The Lions are a top 5 wide receiver duo in the league. Okay, cool. Who are your 5, and why are they better than the Lions? He never said that.
Yeah.
So this sounds like a personal attack on J-Mo being 4.2 speed guy, and he didn't necessarily agree with some of the things. So that's why I didn't
He's
like
just mad J-Mo's faster than him.
Facts. Because where are the other 5? Like, I'm still waiting on this number.
Bengals.
There's 4.
Yeah.
There's Bengals, there's Rams.
Bengals,
Lions.
The
I mean,
Bengals, the Rams, the Cowboys,
and Lions.
We're better than the Cowboys.
I don't know about Philly, maybe, but now that he's gone, no,
because Lemon.
Last year you could say maybe Philly, but that's about it.
The Saints will be the 5th team this year.
Tyson.
Just watch.
What about the not the Eagles? He just left the Eagles. What about the Patriots?
Romeo Dobbs and AJ
Oh yeah.
Brown.
I mean, Romeo Dobbs is nice.
Nah, I don't like Romeo Dobbs.
We're better than them.
I know.
Yeah. What?
We're better than them.
Would it be Lad McConkey and Quentin Wilson?
No, you can't even get it out without laughing.
Exactly. Who's the opposite of Drake May? Ted and Legit. Like, there are not 4 groups better than the Detroit Lions. There's 2, 3 at tops. Yeah. And even Devontae Adams. Like, Devontae's my guy. So he's my favorite wide receiver after certain individuals retire. Devontae's older. Like, I love Devontae. Devontae's not giving you 17 games or 60 minutes of that. Devontae, he's legitimately giving you a couple plays when they're 20 going out, and then you will see him when they get into the red zone. That's why he led the league in touchdowns, because he spent most of his time in the red zone. So,
Jordan Addison, anyone?
That's a good one. I like that one. That's the one. I knew there was one more big one. Jay Jettas and Jordan Addison. Yes.
That's close. I'd still take the Lions.
I'm saying that was another one for the party. So that one comes down to how much better is Jetta's than Amon-Ra St. Brown? Because who you got, Jordan? You have Addison or J-Mo?
J-Mo.
I'm taking J-Mo.
Facts.
I'm taking J-Mo.
So now how much better is Jetta's than Amon-Ra St. Brown?
They play two completely different styles of wide receiver.
But we're comparing the duo of wide receivers, so
that's a tough one.
I would probably say Jetta's is a better receiver.
Just a little bit better, yeah.
Just a little bit better?
Just a little bit.
Than Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yes, just a little bit.
I disagree. Because everything St. Brown can do, Jay Jettis can do, and St. Brown can't do everything that Jay Jettis can do. Like, legit, we just talked about the 9 routes. Like, Jettis has like 15 routes in his route tree.
Fair enough.
Like, his route running ability, I even lack paying attention to it early on in his career. Like, he's legit when it comes to running routes, and it's the big play.
Yeah, okay.
He's largely quarterback-proof through his career. I'd be very curious to see what Amon-Ra would mean on another team. Now, I think he'd still be excellent. Yeah. The guy puts in the work.
Nope. I'm not having this conversation. Every time this comes up, I somehow get into this conversation, and now I got to talk about why Amon-Ra St. Brown isn't as good as these top two. No, I ain't doing it today.
We can talk about other wide receivers.
I love him.
There's a lot of wide receivers we can talk about.
Hey, nope, I want no smoke.
Save yourself.
I love it. Because you know that's what comes. It's like, soon as you start talking, it's like, well, he's not number one because. Right. And now they clip it, and then it's like, man, Braylon said that.
What school has the best wide receivers of all time? Is it LSU?
Are we doing recency bias, like the last 10, 15 years?
I'm talking about through college, through the pros, like the overall product by the time they're done. Who's put the best ones in?
So, last question as it relates to that. Is this what they did in college, or is this what they did in
body
both?
Of work their whole career?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's tough. Are we answering this right now? We're taking a look. Obviously, people
we're teasing it for tomorrow. So,
are we teasing it for tomorrow?
Yeah, we have a list for you to dissect about all-time college wide receiver rooms.
It's pretty fun.
I mean, just off the top, Ohio State comes up, especially what they've done recency. But don't forget they had Chris Carter back in the day. You look at Alabama, and we just mentioned 4 guys that played for Alabama. We just mentioned 2 guys that played for LSU. Odell kind of really got that thing going. Michael Clay. It's an interesting conversation.
Fun debate.
Yeah.
And we
I was trying to get Michigan in there,
soon.
but I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't even do that to you.
What do you want to do there, TD, Mr. Young Justin?
Why don't you tell him about? Why don't I tell him about Mad Packs, eh?
Yeah.
I like a good Mad Pack. I just had some before the show. A little high-low pre-roll action. What flavor was that, Anson? You know?
I do not. Strong.
What? Yeah.
Loud.
Strong and loud. Anson walked out of the office building, which was about 100 to 200 feet away from where we were smoking, and he smelled that like a hound dog. So if you're looking for the loudest and the maddest weed in the game that makes you feel the opposite of mad, relaxed, and awesome, make sure you tap in Mad Packs today at your local dispensary.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
You're building a whole combat sports enterprise in the heart of it in Detroit, and that's what I think is the coolest.
I think with opportunity, right? Like you said, maybe you like to punch people in the face for real, and you know you want to be a boxer, and you have an option there. Maybe you don't like getting punched in the face, and you want to make, you like the theatricals and the storylines, and so you have an avenue here. Maybe you start at one and then want to change to the other. I don't care. I just want you in the building and know that you have some place to go to explore that. Just having the ability to, what do you want to do and how do you want to do it to the best of your ability? And, it all starts with the kids.
generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, Anson here to tell you about my favorite Loom. Loom.com is where you can check them out or visit one of their 40 locations in the great state of Michigan. But we want to be your plug when you do that. We want to save you 30% off of your entire order. So scan that QR code or put in that WSN30 when you end up at Loom.com. And we're going to do exactly that. But they're also going to pitch in as well. The first time you visit, you're going to get a free gift. The first 3 times you visit, they're going to get you a free gift. Make sure you check out their Buzzin' Energy when you are there. And say hello to MJ when you stop by their Berkeley location. They are Loom.
Put down that afternoon coffee and check out Thrive Energy Pouches. Check it out, though. It ain't your daddy's dip. It is tobacco-free, nicotine-free, mental powerhouse of smart caffeine. No bloating, no jitters. Thrive can be found online at dipstop.com. Remember to use that promo code, though, WSN, for 15% off your entire order. Found exclusively at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. Thrive Clean Energy. They flip and work, y'all.
They do flip and work, as my brother Cam said. How's everybody doing out there? How you feeling good as we come back to the Braylon Edwards show on a Tuesday? Everybody good out there? Any comments, any chats, anything you want to clean up over there?
Not one super chat, Braylon.
What?
They mad at me.
We have to give away free things, apparently.
Oh, we do have. That's crazy.
They should probably super chat first.
Nah.
And then, like, we respond with
Just
cool
tell 'em.
stuff. We don't have anything yet, but we will dial it up. So, but you guys super chat a lot? Will you guys smash the like button? We have 150 likes instead of just like 97. Guess what? My man goes and gets you a Jahmyr Gibbs autographed football.
Hey.
Things like that.
Jersey.
We do have a jersey, a number 1. I wonder who it is that wore the number 1. I don't know.
Anyway, we'll figure it out in a second. In news today around the NFL, it seems like defensive tackles are either getting paid and or being disgruntled and want
Someone
to
just
leave.
sent Uncle
I
at
like
you.
that.
That's funny as hell.
That's right.
They called you Uncle what?
Just calling me Unk because somebody needed to Unk their asses. Smash that like button for us. Come on.
1,000%.
That's actually hilarious.
Smash that like button.
It was an Unk siren. I'd never seen that one before. Hey, DJ CFB25 with the $2 super chat, and he didn't even say anything. Shout out.
Shout out.
Appreciate that. Well, somebody's saying something in Tampa because Vita Vea is not happy, ladies and gentlemen. Vita Vea, Super Bowl winning defensive tackle for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he asked for out today. Vita Vea has been there 8 years and currently is under contract right now. He's on a 4-year, $71 million deal, which he's still under this year, and he's being paid $17.7 or so a year. He wants out. He wants out. What say you when you first heard this news? Because I'm thinking, why would Vita Vea want out? Is it because his team is stuck in the mud and they have not been able to get back to that threshold since they won the Super Bowl in 2021? And when you look at the Bucs, there's no more Michael Evans. There's no more Levante David. All the old guard is leaving.
This is a guy that you like a lot.
I love Vita Vea.
You've always liked him a lot.
It was affordable, too, for a year.
I got kind of excited, thinking that this might be a possibility. And then all the writers and everybody here at the network says it's not happening. This seems like a move that you kind of need to do with the news out of L.A. I mean, this guy could end up a Ram. They have about the same cap space and same flexibility as us.
Anson wants to make a move?
Well, I don't think this costs you a lot, Bray.
I agree.
What is it going to cost you? Third rounder?
Well, before
More?
we dive,
Second?
What would that defensive line pay chart look like? I guess since you don't have to bring it back. Go ahead.
I just like I have our around the NFL, our quick slants ready to go, and this is the last question, so I don't want to take out all the discussion topics because I feel like this is the most interesting one. So, but there's some good ones in here. A lot about receivers around the NFL, Braylon, and your former team. teams, plural actually, as well. So let's rip through it here. The first one of quick slants is usually going to be with B-Lad, but B-Lad's not here today, so you get me instead.
We get you.
So let's lead things off. So Jerry Jeudy went on Instagram Live yesterday and flashed the number 4 when asked who the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns should be. Is it Deshaun Watson comeback season?
If he flashed the number 4, isn't that Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's been at camp?
It could be, and I'm pretty sure Jerry Jeudy wants it to be such. Is one of the reasons, selling points, and why he came to that organization in the first place. For me, that's fine. I think everybody's still trying to get back to what Deshaun Watson was that last year with the Houston Texans. If you don't remember, it was an elite season.
Oh, he looks so
good.
It
was an elite season. I want to say he was 4,700 yards, 4 interceptions, 35 touchdowns. It was a season to remember, which is why, amidst everything that was going on, he still got paid the money he did in Cleveland. As much as you want to pull for Shedeur, or you want something to happen, you want to see it. I mean, Shedeur looks no better than Deshaun has looked his time at Cleveland. He's been inconsistent. He hasn't looked right. What is Deshaun Watson now? What is the physical? Because he's been injured a bunch since he's been there. What's the mental? I don't think he's ever fully recovered from the reason why he left the Houston Texans and had to deal with that consistently. Is it a situation you just finally move on from him and say, what else? I think the Browns, they feel like we're still paying this guy. We'll still give him a shot.
You got to get a little bit out of him. You got to at least sell some jerseys to try and recoup
you ain't selling
that.
no jerseys.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if he comes out as the starter, people's memories are short. He will still sell some of those. And, I mean, you got so much mediocrity in these 17 other guys holding the clipboard behind him. You have to see if you have anything out of him. And maybe you get 8 games. Maybe you get a full good season out of him. Maybe. But even just a month of football out of him gets a little bit of return, man.
I agree, because I never thought he could live up to the contract. And I always think when you're running for something like that, your mental has to play too many games, for you to be anything like that. With that being said, man, I lost my train of thought.
Well, you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah,
I would say Jerry Jeudy needs to shut up. Because realistically, it doesn't matter who's at the quarterback position. Like, the way in which he played the game last year and the year before, it's not even the drops. Like, your first job as a wide receiver is catch the ball. Like, you got to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball. It's not even like that. He looks disinterested. He looks like he doesn't want to be out there. He's arguing with coaches on the sideline. Like, if I'm Jerry Jeudy, just take that cash and shut up. Become a better version of yourself.
Never been that good. But you know what? A very timely, well-placed super chat by one Brandon734. Braylon, the best to ever wear number 1 at Michigan. And this one is signed here, guys, courtesy.
That's right above the jump, man.
It's the backwards stuff. Anyway, that one's going to one of you guys at the end of the week. Might even wait until next week because I won't be here Friday. But appreciate the super chats coming in. Appreciate Freddie Felt for donating this. And appreciate the legend for signing it, as well as Freddie Felt with the $2 super chat. Can you do Cuba Gooding Jr.? You're very good at impressions.
I try. Which Cuba Gooding Jr.?
He would like you to say, I am your ambassador of Quan.
Oh, Jerry Maguire. Yeah. I knew it was going to be Jerry Maguire. All right, give me a second. I'll figure it out.
Well, I will read the next question as you think about that, Braylon. Yeah. Stafford looks in mid-season form, throwing dots to Puka Nacua downfield at Rams camp. Are the Rams really that big of a Super Bowl favorite where most of us are just like, this is the best the team has looked going into a season in a long time?
I'll phrase it like this. We'll start by saying this. Everything we do as it relates to a team, what do we have to always say? If said team is healthy. So assuming this team is healthy, yeah, why not? Like, this team was an elite offense last year. Yeah. Elite offense. They have a dual-headed backfield in Kyron and Blake Corum. And I was watching videos of Blake in the offseason. Like, the workouts that he's doing. Intense. I'm looking at Kyron like, look, I know you're nice, but You know, you might have to come up off some of those carries this season. So I think you have that. You have Devontae Adams. They understand exactly how to use him. You have Puka Nacua, who I feel like is 1B in terms of wide receivers in the league right now. And then you have an ever-revolving door of tight ends that, like Cam says, just flipping work for Matt Stafford. And then you got Matt Stafford occupying his space. Whatever you feel about him, Stick and everybody else, you cannot deny what he has been for these last 3 seasons, especially the seasons when he's injured, and he's just humping and humming right now. So I think that's real. And where they had their deficiencies, they've gotten better. Had a deficiency at defensive end and being able to rush the quarterback consistently, not through the middle, but from the side. Well, guess what?
They improved a little.
They got the best one.
I think they improved
Just a
a little
little
bit. You know what?
McDuffie.
You struggled in the back. You struggled in the secondary. You struggled being able to match up with some of these number 1 wide receivers that you see in the NFC West and NFC. Well, like you said, right, they got Trey McDuffie, those problems and more. And you drafted another. Like, they made a lot of moves in offseason. The team was favored most of the year last year to win the Super Bowl. They fell short, and now they revamped in the offseason. So, yeah, I don't think it's blowing smoke, Jay. I think it legitimately is. They're that good.
Deep and talented offense. It's a set it and forget it. Professional offense. Yeah. And your defense that was already really good got even better, and then you're going to get Aaron Donald back maybe?
Yeah.
Terrifying.
And that's the elephant in the room. You get Aaron Donald back. If you get Aaron Donald back, not even just about what he does for you on the field, it's what he does in the locker room, it's what he does in the film study, it's what he does as a leader. Speaking of that division, did you see the crazy with Kyle Shanahan?
How he got in that accident? Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, he got into an accident driving his Tesla. They say he was on the phone over the week, maybe this is like a week plus ago, and it came on the 14th or the 15th. So he almost lost his eye in the crash. So potentially could have lost his eye in the crash.
Was he driving on the phone, or was the Tesla driving?
Right, yeah. He had that thing on autopilot?
So that's because
I could never do that.
Yeah, that would freak
my
me
first
out,
thought
man.
was, was he intoxicated? Was there a level of that?
I don't think anything came out like that in the report. Yeah,
no, it didn't. 100%. This didn't even come out till like 4 days after it happened.
Yeah, they kept that.
But I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, have any of you guys ever driven in a car without a driver driving it?
No.
No.
No?
No.
Cam, I know you wouldn't, dude.
No.
I feel like maybe you, when you travel to these big destination events and stuff, you got a Waymo picking you up?
I've driven. No, hell no.
You've never been in a car without somebody driving?
No, I'm not doing that.
Me neither, dude.
I've driven cars that have that feature,
and you didn't use it.
Like for a second, you use it.
I don't trust it.
Yeah, you use it because it's cool. It's like, oh, okay. I may have made it from Woodward and 15 to Woodward in like 14 and a half.
Oh my God.
This is too much. But that's a good question though. Like, was he letting that car drive for him? One thing about it is they have all the receipts. They have all the information.
They took their time to get their story straight, Bray.
But
yes,
they took a see.
That's the deal.
You get where I'm coming from. Yes, all right, Jay. I think the Rams. I think they're legit.
Speaking of that division and that coach, we have not rumors out of 49ers camp, tape out of 49ers camp of my favorite sleeper, one of them, my favorite sleeper wide receivers going into this year. DeJon Stribling has looked great. People actually were mistaking him at camp, thinking that he was Mike Evans for a little while. Is the 49ers wide receiver room sneaky good with Mike Evans, DeJon Stribling, Christian Kirk, and Ricky Pearsall?
The answer is yes. I don't want to say yes to everything, but I think these two answers and questions that you asked me, answer is yes.
God, I guess you just love my takes, Braylon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm starting to come around. I'm messing with you. I thought Christian Kirk was overvalued when he got paid by the Jacksonville Jaguars, but when you see what he's able to do when they give him opportunities, C.J. Stroud last year with the Texans, he can make plays. He made plays in Cardinals, which is why he got paid originally. So you put him in a situation, he's not the guy because he never was, or you put him in a situation, he may not even be 2, he's your 3, 4. He can do some damage right there, man. And the young Stribling having Mike Evans as a leader, a mentor, a veteran, one of the best wide receivers come out in the last 25 years, somebody that will be in Hall of Fame, when his career is over. Having that in the room, like that information, it's just invaluable. And then Ricky Pearsall is one of those scrappy dudes I like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's fast. He's a confident, goes up with his hands. Talking about the hands catcher, he'll snag the ball out of the air. So I think when you look at that mixed in with Kyle Shanahan's their OC, and he still has 2 eyes, thank God. So,
thank God.
Yeah, I think
and
that
Brandon
that
Ayuk. They got
nice.
Brandon Ayuk, right?
Yeah, driving around the stadium, like flipping them off. Did he buy a house right next to Jaden Daniels or whatever?
What do you think happens with him?
Nothing.
Is he out of football, you think?
I think it happened.
Did he talk his way out of football?
Probably.
He's a less chaotic version of AB at this point.
Yep. I was just about to say
and less productive.
Way less productive.
Yeah, way less, but less. Yeah, because AB, when you hear his name, I was like, oh. You're like, all right, what the brother done did now?
Fire up chips.
When you hear Brandon Ayuk, you're like, man, what his silly ass do? Like, it's more like that.
Yeah, that's
like AB, I'm like, how much time we looking at? With Brandon Ayuk, I'm like, it's goofy, but
it's what happens when you get left alone with social media for days on end.
Hey, man,
San Francisco.
What?
Dude talked his way out of a job, getting the ball thrown to him from Jaden Daniels. It's crazy to me. Like his friend, he didn't even like you anymore, bro. What are you thinking? What are you doing? I signed him for the cheap in my Dynasty League last year. I'm sick about it.
That's what happens when you be too fast. One, you don't need to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But everything in this day and age is too fast. I got to put something out quick. I got to say something quick. I feel like you shitted on me. I feel like you didn't respond to me. Or I feel like you put something out quick. And then what happens? Now I got to double down on the dumb stuff I did. Because now I try to call you out being funny, and you was like, damn, I don't even know what's going on. Like, oh, man, dang, now I'm stupid. But now I have to double down. Now I got to triple down. He's going to mess around and quadruple down and get some real trouble.
I got a good question in here from the chat. Who is the Kanye West of the NFL?
Oh, it's AB, man.
Is it? That's who they said.
It's
100? Nobody else?
Yeah, like who else could it be?
Because you got to be good,
He
right? You got to be as good as Kanye was in his prime.
You trying to say Caleb Williams?
No.
I'm like, what?
I would never insult Kanye like that. Come on.
Okay, looking like that, then who are you looking at?
I'm not quite sure. I was just kind of curious.
Knee-jerk
reaction, you said AB.
Speaking of controversial wide receivers, let me get to my next question. As Marvin Harrison is getting a lot of hate, dropping passes and being lackadaisical at the beginning of Cardinals camp.
Slap shots with Justin.
Braylon, is there any chance he can live up to the potential of being a wide receiver 1 in the NFL?
Wide receiver 1, yes. Wide receiver, like they tried to project him to be coming to Ohio State, absolutely not. I heard people so ignorant to say that he was going to be better than his father when he was a freshman and sophomore year. And I'm not saying it's Marvin Harrison Jr.'s fault, but this is what was put on you, and this is what people said. Like, his father, one of the best wide receivers of all time. Like, if you want to have a serious conversation, there's conversation to put him top 6. Like, I'm talking top 6. Like, you don't have to, but that's where he could be as high as that. And I think it's one of those things where you always ask the question, how good are the wide receivers at Ohio State? Because it's so many great ones coming out each and every year. You're playing with, like, it's like 4 first-rounders playing with each other.
Yeah.
How good is he? Garrett Wilson was amazing. So can he live up to that hype? No. Like, because you see it already. Like, there's a lot of mental, there's a lot of injuries happen, but it looks different since he's gotten out of the horseshoe.
Him or Carnell Tate?
Ooh.
Carnell Tate.
Oh, yeah.
Both are in terrible positions.
Yeah, I take Carnell Tate because he looks more like, it's not the body, it's not the athleticism, the athletic ability. And Carnell Tate has a little bit more to him, more of a mature game, more of a I can go make this happen, I can do a little bit more. Marvin Harrison kind of has like that. I'm a big wide out and get open, or you people.
Dante151 in the chat. Caleb Williams is the Drake of the NFL.
Ooh, Drake's never done his fingernail paint, but I could be wrong.
He probably has.
He probably has. He probably has.
Off a 1 year sample size, though, no.
They both have MRSAs.
Facts.
And we will get to the last slant about Vita Vea after the break.
There you go.
We're going to we already did Thrive. So it's
Art and Jake's, Bray.
Art and Jake's, 80 TVs, wall to wall. This is the place you come catch a vibe, watch a game, sports bar like no other. That's because they have 22 Beers on tap. And also the menu is good, man. You go check that menu out, man. They don't just have bar food. They got things that you can sit down, take your time, enjoy. Enjoy the food, enjoy the vibe, enjoy the areas. And they're all around the state. You see, we like to partner with them. We like to go watch Tigers games, Pistons games. It doesn't matter. You can watch it all at Art and Jake's. And football season, ladies and gentlemen, is upon us.
And tell them about Mr. Deeds.
Hey, talk about my team on the B side over at State's Title Agency. They are the team for you. They like to make the process simple and convenient. Whether you're buying or refinancing, it does not matter. They do it right. 20 years experience in the game. And oh, by the way, the expertise of my boy in the B goes a long way. Weekend closings, late night closings, they do it all. They do it for you. Partner with them. For all your title needs, call Mr. Deeds.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at DebtCityFC.com.
This is a hungry bear. This is Carl and Jeff. Carl isn't worried because he has focused energy to spare thanks to Thrive energy pouches. Jeff didn't use Thrive when Carl offered. The bear is happy about that. Don't just survive. Thrive.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Justice Satawa here. Let me tell you about Amnesia. Like you just saw me do, 2 flavors, 1 device, 3 ways to enjoy it. I just personally enjoy the sativa flavor. Keep me up as it is a beautiful day, and I gotta stay on the upper end. But then we got the hybrid and the indica for however you're feeling. If you need help sleeping or you just want a little vibe in your day, make sure you tap with Amnesia. They also have great glass tip pre-rolls, no leak, no canoe, best in the game. So make sure you tap with Amnesia at your local dispensary today.
I kind of like that game that we were just playing, kind of like, you know, pick a player and kind of pick an artist or actor that they may portray. Because that Caleb Williams and Drake one is spot on. I mean, hell, Drake calls himself the Iceman on his last album, and Caleb also calls himself the Iceman.
Trying.
Brr, if you will. So, Tyler, you got more of those quick scents, man, because you're cooking with a little bit of grease over there.
Oh, yes, sir. I have one more click slant for you, and it is about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is a two-parter, though, however, because earlier today there was news that came out about Baker Mayfield, and there was a break in contract talks with him as his deal is up at the end of the year this year, and they have not been able to extend him. So a little trouble in paradise down there in Tampa Bay, on top of the one that is important to Lions fans. Vita, Pro Bowl defensive tackle, has requested a trade, 31 years old, has an expiring deal. I don't know if he's going to be looking for an extension when he does leave. However, I don't believe that he has any trade protection in the NFL, so I don't think that matters too much. Braylon Edwards, should the Detroit Lions trade for Vita?
Oh, man, I remember we used to play this game all the time, like when the Lions weren't necessarily that good. And then when they got good, it was always about the edge rusher we could trade for, and that became a thing until last season. As much as I like Vita and I love him, what does the defensive line look like if you get him? Because you went and drafted a guy last year that I don't necessarily agree that you should have drafted, and this would be a whole different conversation if that weren't the case. There's Talik Williams,
who just lost 50 pounds.
There's Aleem.
Might be a hybrid.
There's Aleem McNeil. There's Anzarike. There's Hassanin.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I said it. Hey, I said yesterday, someone's going to bring up Anzarike, and they're gonna be thinking they're going to play a real role this year. Brayden, we ain't getting shit from Anzarike. Come on.
I like the move. I've been clamoring for a move, man, since I've been working at the network. So, I mean, so many injuries. But if you're only using him for a year, and you're not going to pay him beyond next year, then what does it really matter?
The defensive move, and I'm not talking about adding to your defense. I'm talking about blocking those teams that you saw up on that board there. What if he ends up with the Packers? What if he ends up with the Rams?
Packers are going to be.
What if he ends up with who else was up on here? The Bears.
Yeah.
Any of those teams.
The Bills.
I gotta be honest with you. If he ends up with
49ers?
San Francisco, with the Packers, with the Bears, with the Vikings, with the Rams, that's a problem for us.
Yeah.
And if it's going to be 1 year and it only costs you a third rounder, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
If it's a second rounder, we can
you
get
spent
into the
3 for a
conversation.
guy you don't even play.
100.
Yeah, I think the Lions can make this move. I think it'd be a really good move, and it'd be a force multiplier move.
Well, I've been asking you, this 14 plus that we have left, do you want to spend it now, Bray, or do you want it for the trade deadline? You've been steadfast. You want it for the trade deadline. This is that guy.
Yeah, this is the
But
trade
you
deadline,
get him for the
essentially.
first 7 games instead of waiting, right? So maybe the cost is a little bit lower mid-season, but what he can mean to you, being there today, being there tomorrow, and through training camp, through preseason, week 1 in the middle with you, you don't have to put it all on Tyreek. You get that rotation.
I think sometimes you gotta play stingy ball, man. And you've seen the Philadelphia Eagles; they've done it time and time again, where there are players available and they just went and got them, even if they already.
Because they don't want anybody else to get
They
it.
don't want you to get him. You saw the Rams do that with Odell Beckham coming out of Cleveland, and I know you're like, Odell helped them win that Super Bowl that year. Him and Von Miller when they got there to Los
I
Angeles.
steady be trading for guys in my fantasy league, so he doesn't end up on that guy's team.
I mean, it's some teams up there that can bother you. I mean, you talk about the Chicago Bears. They need some. You talk about the San Francisco 49ers, who you'll have to contend with at the end of the season. And then you talk about the Minnesota Vikings, who are also in your conference. And that defense is already elite. You don't believe me? Who beat you last year twice with J.J. McCarthy as well as Scott Brosmer? So sometimes you got to play keep away. And this isn't just a case of playing keep away. He makes your defensive line better already. 31 years old. He's 17.5. That's what he's making right now. Had a couple injuries along the way, but when he's in there, he's as stout as anybody at that position.
You making that deal, Justin?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm willing to overpay for him because
what would you pay?
When you third this year, fourth next year, maybe 2/3.
Okay.
I mean, I the second round picks where it does get tough for me, but if we're talking, I might even throw 2/3 and a fourth. I really do not value fourth round picks that much, especially if you're going to get a guy like Vita Vea. And this is like the Zadarius Smith type of move at the defensive tackles position. Like, it's not you're not committed to him at all. You're not going to be giving up a lot of assets for him. If you do unless you give up multiple third round picks, then you will. But I think you do have to. If you have to block teams, and we see the best defenses in all of football have a rotation. Imagine all of these guys at a 66% relative snap share.
Yeah.
Where they're all just giving it to you. Like, and Vita Vea is a very good pass rusher for the position, as well as being a good run stuffer. Like, I think Vita Vea really helps your linebacking core as well, because they're so weak. You are asking so little of them.
Yeah.
Like, you have Vita Vea and Jack Campbell in the middle, plus either a skinnier Tyreek, who's going to be around how as quick and wiggly as Aleem McNeil will be this year, in my opinion. I think Aleem McNeil is going to have a bounce-back year. I don't necessarily know if he's going to live up till 2024, but I believe in Aleem McNeil. That 2024 tape does not lie. He was so good, and I think last year he was still coming off the injury. You saw Hutch with his first couple of games back. He was rusty. He didn't look like himself, and it took a while for that to correct itself. So I do have faith in Aleem McNeil, and I do think that getting Vita Vea only helps a guy like Tyreek Williams, who is going to be learning from a two-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. Like, there's a lot of great experience that he can also give down to our young defensive tackle room, even Levi Onwuzurike.
As it relates to the Aleem McNeil take, I agree. And I think from this standpoint, though, I think as he was ascending in 24, as you see what he finally can do, as he gets to the point where you see him hip toss Quentin Nelson, I will always bring it up, because that's when I knew. He got hurt 2 games after he got paid. So he didn't even get to finish becoming what he's going to become. Then he gets injured. Then he misses the offseason. Now he's rehabbing. Now he's recovering. Now he gets into the season, game 8, and has to figure it out. That's tough. That's a tough stretch. So it does take time, especially when his was a ligament, whereas Aiden was a bone. It's a big difference there. As it relates to Vita Vea, he's a monster. He's a problem. And we've been complaining, or we've been trying to say, well, Sheila won't pay this guy, or you don't want to pay a ton of money to this. This is the money you have to work with. This is the space you have to work with. Ladies and gentlemen, this is in the space that you have to work with. This isn't going to bankrupt the franchise. This isn't going to take a lot of draft cap from you. And realistically, Justin, because he's older now, I wouldn't go 3-3-2. Like, I'd give up a third and a fourth and see where that lands me, because there are some injury concerns at the big tackles, 31 he's dealing with. So I don't want to give up a potential piece where you can get something a couple years from. But, but a 3 and a 4, like a 3 this year and a 4 next year?
No. A 3 in when? I don't think we have one till like 29, right?
4-4. The Tesla, yeah.
Yeah. But once again, it's the gift that keeps on not giving.
Listen, to me, this is a defensive move where you block these other teams from getting it. If you get even a whiff that he's headed in division, you got to pick up the phone. And you got to make this move.
Pick up the phone and start dialing.
That's right.
And it doesn't change anything that you have. Everything you believe.
Makes you better.
Everything you believe you are now, you're not taking anything away from it to bring him in. You're only making it a better situation. If you don't want to pay him, you don't have to after the year.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah,
I'd do it. I don't know what the terms are and what they're going to want. I got to be honest. I would imagine it's borderline second, third to be able to get him, because one of these teams would be willing to pay that.
Probably 49ers. I guarantee you 49ers.
If they don't, if
Just
the Rams
not
don't.
NFC North. No NFC North.
You have
49ers and Bears.
You have, to update you on the Lions picks, they have a third the next 3 years, a fourth the next 3 years. They have a
Didn't they
second.
get it back from Demo?
The second, yes, a second next year as well. They traded theirs, but they still have the Cowboys second.
So where are the thirds missing from them?
Last year.
None?
And we got something back, though.
Yeah, we one of them was a compensatory pick that was this year, and then I'm assuming compensatory pick last year.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, no, it was the compensatory pick last year and this pick that we traded this last year. Yeah,
and then obviously the actual.
So yeah, no, we're chilling. Let's go do it. Come on, baby. Let's go get VFA.
Now that I hear that we have them, I'm all in. Man.
Unload the clip.
It changes the complexity of your defense, man. You hit on it. You talk about having Lee McNeil and Vita Vea in the front, and then having Aleem come off, and having Talik come off the bench. You're talking about Jack Campbell and Malcolm Rodriguez. The linebacker core is one of those susceptible points on this team. It is one of those susceptible points because of Derek Barnes, because of Malcolm Rodriguez. If you get those two playing iso ball, they playing one-on-one, they don't have to worry about shedding linemen first because they're being held up by Vita Vea and Aleem McNeil. You're talking about guys just running around, having their way. That looks good.
And
for
you're talking about the middle of your line being about 3 to 310 and 285 right now. There's no nose tackle. All right, this is your nose right here. There's a guy at 350 that sits right in the middle of your line and makes everybody better, including your secondary.
Only thing I would just not necessarily throw caution to the wind, but it is just part of the conversation. Like Jason Light, understand. I know what he's doing. And Jason Light's the GM for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got there in 2014. He built his Super Bowl team up, got that in that one inkling year. He said, look, we're going to go here, here, here. They got the Super Bowl. They stayed relevant, went after Baker, went after these guys, kept their guys happy, made it a place where you come and you can compete. It's time to shake it up. He's trying to shake it up. Levante David was older. Mike Evans was older. Vita Vea is older than an injured guy. Baker Mayfield, they shut the conversation down.
I don't know about injured guy. He's played full seasons for the last 5 years, if I remember correctly.
You talking about Vita Vea?
Yep.
I'm not saying injured guys until the point where he's missing 5, 6, 7 games. What I'm talking about is every year there's a noticeable injury that makes him miss 2 games, and those 2 games over the course of years. Those injuries add up. Like he's a 310-pound man and he's year 9 in the league. I'm just saying those injuries start to stack up a little
missed
bit.
1 in 24, 2 in 23, 3 in 22, another 1 in 21, and it was 2020 that he really missed the majority of the season.
He missed against us this past year. The Monday night game.
Said they had 17 games played.
He got hurt. Or he got hurt in it.
Might have happened that way. Yeah. 4.5 sacks. I mean, the guy's just a pro in the middle, and he's not that old. Seems like he's old. He's been around for a while, but
31.
He's not. Yeah.
And
not that old.
Yeah, all right. Well, Vita Vea is definitely a player I think.
But he wants $24 million, so don't expect to extend it.
No.
Hell no.
No.
He only makes 17.
And that's why the Lions won't do it. That's just not in their DNA. If they trade for a guy, I think it'll be for a guy that they have for multiple years, and I don't think that they're going to give this man over $20 million.
So this would be one of those Hassan Reddick situations where if you pick me up, you have to give me a new contract.
I would say, yeah.
You not giving him a new contract?
You can't have.
I didn't say I wouldn't, but we know how Dan and Brad work. Yeah. My man's over 30. He's not getting extended. Yeah. Wasn't drafted by the Lions. Not getting extended.
Not getting extended.
They got a profile, man. And if your name is not Jared Goff, you better been drafted by the Lions, and you better be under 30.
All right, be drafted by the Lions and be under 30. Where are we at, Jay, with reads for the day? Are we done?
Nope, we got one last break here that we should hit to this moment.
Okay.
What has Gold Crown got for you to hit this time?
Nothing that I can hit inside because the Royal Jesters are
loud,
and it would air out this room quicker than this busted AC unit that we got in here. As the Royal Jesters are 1.5 grams total coated keef, live resin infused. They are smoke like royalty, just like the saying says, and they are the best. They're clean, no canoe, great taste. My personal favorite, wild berry. Got a nice berry flavor to it, especially in the summer. You know, shout out Michigan and the fresh vibe that they got there. So make sure you tap in today with Gold Crown, the staple of Michigan cannabis for over 15 years.
Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
And we are back for the final segment of the day to wrap up the show and all the good things. Just more about the outing yesterday, man. It was, weather held up. It was beautiful. It was a fun time. So there was, my driver's always off. Like, everybody knows me when I come over here and tell you stories. I always tell you my irons pretty smooth, my putting pace is right. It's always that damn driver that gets me in trouble. Yesterday, though, driver was on, man. Like, driver was on. I knew it was going to be on. It started us on 4. 4 is a par 4, 320 yards. I smoked one past the green, but to the left probably about 50 yards. And I was past the green. So I said, oh, yeah, we got a shot today. Just slow it down. Next one, teed off, 340. I was probably 30 yards from the pin, 30 yards from the green. I said, now, the key is, it's not this drive, it's not that drive. When is the long drive hole? Because typically you hit a couple good ones, and then you got to wait a long time. Long drive hole was 13. So I stayed in rhythm, stayed in the groove. We get to 13. It's a dog leg right over the trees. I took the shortcut, went over the trees, landed. I won by about 30 yards. Wasn't even close. I just felt it. Swung smooth, swung easy, it hit, took off when exactly where I was.
Did you get a free driver?
No. I actually got something. Free driver would have been really good. But I got a free suit by State and Liberty and a free shirt. They actually make good clothes. They make good stuff too. So I'm kind of excited about that. Realistically, go pick that up.
I won
it was a lot of fun.
I won a biggest drive competition when I was about 17 or 18.
Like biggest or longest?
Longest. Right. I did not actually win by any means. Shout out T-Bone. I was working at the golf course and they were coming out and they're like, "You're golfing with us. We're missing a man." So I had to ask the boss. They brought me out there and T-Bone just took that ball and done throw it up there. And the awards banquet was an uncomfortable awards banquet. They insisted I keep that driver. It's not cool, man.
Man, I was in this outing maybe a couple years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, and I hit a bomb. I'm talking about I hit one.
But somebody was bigger, huh?
Yeah, but no. And this is where I got
exactly.
pissed. So we were on the same team. I hit one like 330. Right, it was felt, man, to this day probably the best drive I hit. Like it was dead straight the whole time. Right line, right height, everything was perfect. The guy came behind me on our team. He hit a really good shot, but there's a cart path that goes through the middle of the fairway at Shepherd's Hollow. So the cart path goes through the middle of the fairway, and the cart path is probably 280 to get there. His ball hit the cart path and then shot forward. Like beat mine by about 7-8 yards.
That's what we told everybody.
But
I hit the golf cart.
But he took the gift. He took the.
You're supposed to.
His shot wasn't longer than mine. He hit the cart path. That was the obstruction of justice.
You could have hit the cart path too.
No,
imagine yours hitting the cart path. 450, baby.
Luckily, he took the socks, and at the time, I took the whiskey.
Solid choice.
That's how we played it. What else is going on? How was you guys' weekend?
It was chill.
Chill.
Very productive.
It's like FIFA was over.
I played golf too, Bray.
Okay, how'd you play?
On the course. I played really well. I hit a 2-man scramble up at. You were in Crystal Mountain, Bray?
Yeah.
Yeah, played that course. Very beautiful, very nice. I was playing very well. We hit an 87 as a 2-man scramble.
That's not bad.
So that's pretty good.
And he was talking smack yesterday.
I was.
What's up? Hey,
me and Bray got to get on the course together.
Let me know.
It's gonna be. It's more likely gonna be me and Bray versus some other people in this office. We've been chatting that.
Bomber's been talking some stuff.
Yeah.
Do we know what happened with the whole Bomber versus the Bomber and Neil versus
Bomber
Crunch
said they
Time?
lost. He said he lost.
I think it's Crunch Time is 3-1, I believe, against Neil and Bomber.
I think Caleb is scratch golfer out there, man. Kid grew up in the middle of all kinds of North Macomb golf courses, and he can play. He's our champion putter here. And if you can finish strong,
I want all the smoke. Like, and if me and Justin Satawa, if that's my partner, then we want all the smoke. So you let that be known through Woodward
Scramble
Sports.
or best ball?
Sure, we can play either one. We can play 2-man best ball or 2-man scramble.
Stephen Baffy, $5 super chat. Sounds like Bray should be on 4th and 4. Hutch's Golf Podcast.
Ooh, I got my own thing coming up, man. Wait till you hear more about that. But that would be. Everybody golfs now. Like, you know what? This is gonna sound selfish, and this might even sound old, but it's cool. Remember when all albums weren't out there like that? Everybody can access music, so it's CDs. You're listening to CDs, and like those songs that aren't on. Well, not only that, but when those songs weren't on the radio,
side B,
like you feel like it was just you.
Yep.
You say, yo, that's the joint. Oh man, that's like one of my low key jams, right? Like it's like your song.
Yeah.
It's like nobody else knows about it. It's like you don't even play it in front of other people. You're like, nah, I want them to be on my song.
Bread Fan by Metallica.
See, there you go. If that's what works for you, that's how it was with golf. Like, people weren't golfing like that when I first got drafted. When I came up, golf was still like the old man sport. Like, there was no women playing like that, and it was just like, you know, it was like the guys that were members or athletes and players. Like, I feel like it was my little thing, it's my little space. Now everybody golfs, and now the content, everybody's getting content, everybody's going out there. So now people will hit me up like, hey man, you trying to get around there? I'm like, you don't even golf like that. Don't be asking me if I'm trying to play. Get out of here.
They just want to see your big driver.
You're just trying to get some content. You're crazy. Like, you're just trying to get some content, but everybody is in the world of golf. And keep it up, though. So it's a beautiful world to be a part of.
Yeah, they want to see how big your wood is, bro. And Freddie Felt, I just got a Golden Tee game for the crib. I'm going to get it out of you. It's coming.
Nope.
I'm getting a pause before the end of the year. Freddie Felt not only has a Mohawk, but he also has a Golden Tee game now.
And the best thing in Detroit Tigers season happened today as Jake Rogers was DFA'd. See you later, buddy.
Dude.
You suck. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah,
I don't want any of it.
What's the one common thread in the playoff Tigers? Jake Rogers. No Jake Rogers? Not in the playoffs, huh?
Shut up, Anson. Shut up.
What are you excited about?
This is your
worst
take of all time.
Best of all catchers in the MLB.
Yep.
5 WAR doesn't matter.
It's a team sport, dumbass.
The playoffs. Jake Rogers.
It's a team sport, dumbass. He's a negative WAR. Shut up. Stop saying that he's better than Dingler. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, he has the highest WAR of any catcher in the league. Dylan Dingler does. But
best catcher in the league.
Terry Foster asked us 2 weeks ago to give us 100 words on why Jake Rogers would be better for the team, and that was my answer.
So what really happened? What's going on between these jokes? I know Jake Rogers is no longer part of the team.
He gone.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying, is there an issue with that? Cause
no, it was
because I'm about to say Dylan Dingler's been lights out this year.
No, he's 5 WAR. He's by far the best WAR in the league for catchers.
Oh, can I give him some more love? Like,
please, he's
I love to give players some love, especially when they play on teams
that Dingler some love.
That drive crazy. You're hilarious, by the way. I'm not falling prelude to that, because you know what else he does well? Like, he's a really good base runner. Like he's like low key fast. Like see how nobody was like responding? Like legitimately, here you go. First to third. The percentage on first to third, if you're 30 is like league average. Like getting first to third. Like so if you're from first, ball's hit, you trying to get to third, or your attempts to third. League average is like 30 is when you start getting decent, average. Ronald Acuna Jr. or Ramirez, 54%. Like, that's where those guys are. That's when you start to get elite territory. Dylan Dingler leads the entire MLB. Like, Dylan Dingler's
really?
Dylan Dingler's 59% going first to third. He leads the entire MLB right now. And when you watch it, because I was just watching him run, I'm like, man, I said, he don't be getting caught. And then I heard the commentator say it, so shout out to the commentator. And I said, oh, now that makes sense. So, like, he's an elite base runner, first to third. He is leading the whole MLB. That's saying something. A catcher?
Look at Savant Braylon,
That's my tiger. That's my tiger. I love it.
100%. So shout out to Dylan Dingler.
I'm about to get a Dylan Dingler All-Star jersey with the America numbers.
Ooh.
They make those in the D shop now, Brandon. I know that you're probably gonna get one now too. Yeah. It's okay. Just don't get a Dylan Dingler one, okay? I'm getting a Dingler as long as you don't get the same one. But they only had the white one in there last time.
I get a Skubal because it'd be a limited commodity.
Yeah.
For everyone in the chat that thinks I was serious.
Nah, he's trolling.
I have a great graphic that we can put up here. I sent to Gordo because I wanted him to be able to have it for his awesome Tigers stuff, the Woodward Tigers. This is how much better Dylan is than every catcher in the league.
Yeah, shout out. There's only one at 3.1.
Gabe Moreno, who is a younger pitcher, very good as well. But Dylan Dingler sitting at 5 WAR leaders at catcher. Unbelievable.
Shout out. He's doing his thing. He's having himself a year. You can always find a couple silver linings in a situation. And he has been silver lining for the team. Look, man, we appreciate you joining us. Back in the fold. More Lions talk tomorrow. We'll have more out of training camp as Allen Park is now underway.
Dan Campbell speaking at the podium too, so we'll have lots of stuff for you tomorrow.
1,000%. Make sure to check out the heavyweights, 5 o'clock. They will be giving you more on Vita, but your Detroit Lions will be the #1 topic for them. For Anson Wells, my boy, Sweet Potato Karen Riley, and my right hand, Justin, we are the Braylon Edwards Show, and we will see you mañana.
Woodward Wings, 4:15.